Hello everyone. We have a question which says that four coplanar forces of magnitude F Newton, 5 Newton, 25 Newton and 15 Newton. First we should understand what does the word coplanar means. Coplanar forces means when all the forces act at a single point, those forces are called coplanar. If you just look at the diagram, we can see that we have four forces: F Newton, 5 Newton, 25 Newton and 15 Newton. They all are acting at this point P. Therefore, they are called coplanar forces. And in the statement also they have mentioned that the four forces are acting at a point P in the direction shown in the diagram. The diagram is very clear. Given that the forces are in equilibrium, find the value of F and alpha. F is over here, which is the unknown force, alpha, which is an angle. We have to find the value of these two, and the condition that they have given us is that given that the forces are in equilibrium. Before starting the question, let us understand the components, the horizontal component and the vertical component, because most of the students have a misconception that the horizontal force is always with a cos component. It is not like that. For example, if we are considering this angle and this is a particular force which is being acted at a particular angle, then the side that is being connected to that is a cos component side and the opposite side is a sine component side. Similarly, if this is the angle that is being given to us in the diagram, then the side next to it would be a cos component side and the opposite would be a sine component side. So it is not like horizontal forces or horizontal component would always be a cos component and the vertical will always be a sine. It depends upon the angle. So based on this, let us start with the given question that the condition is that the forces are in equilibrium. Equilibrium means the opposite forces will be equal, and when we say the opposite forces will be equal, that means the horizontal opposite forces will be equal as well as the vertical opposite forces would be equal, and we will split the horizontal forces and the vertical forces according to the given condition that the forces are in equilibrium. As you can see that I have written over here, this 5 Newton is purely a horizontal force, so the direction is over here, and this F Newton is making an angle alpha, so definitely this would be F cos alpha. That means the horizontal component of this would be F, and both have the direction this side. And if you just look at over here, due to this 90-degree, this 25 Newton is purely a vertical component, so there is nothing to discuss about 25 Newton based on horizontal component. And if you look at 15 Newton, it is making an angle of 20-degree with this side, so therefore this side would be a cos component, so 15 cos 20. So by considering these two, making them equal to 15 cos 20, because the condition as the forces are in equilibrium, so we have written over here horizontal forces are F cos alpha plus 5, which is over here, would be equal to 15 cos 20, which is over here. And after solving this 15 cos 20, moving this plus 5 over there, and then simplifying it, and we have a condition, and we have written it as equation 1. Similarly, for the vertical forces, we are going to go on with the same strategy, that this 5 Newton has nothing to do with the vertical component, but the vertical component of this 5 Newton would be F Newton would be F sine alpha, and the vertical component of this 15 Newton would be 15 sine 20, and it would be acting downward. And this 25 Newton is purely a vertical component acting downward, so we can see that when we are considering the vertical component, we have F sine alpha, and that would be equal to the sum of these two, which is 15 sine 20 plus 25. And after simplifying this, we have a condition, and we have written it as equation 2. The main thing that we have to focus is that we have to find the value of F and alpha. So we would be solving these two equations. We have two different methods. So if we talk about the first method, in that we can say that dividing the equation 2 by 1, that means f sine alpha divided by f cos alpha over here, and that would be equal to 30.1 divided by 9.09. After simplifying it, cancelling the f sine upon cos is tan, and then moving the tan on the other side to make it tan inverse, and finally we have got the value of the alpha, which is 73.2. now you can keep this value of angle, which is the alpha, in any one equation, whether the equation 1 or equation 2. For example, if we take equation 1, just place the value of this alpha 73.2 over here, and after that just divide this cos alpha below 9.09, simplify it, and finally we have got the value of f. We do have another method also to solve it, and the other method is almost similar to this one and very easy, that is squaring and adding equation 1 and 2. Equation 1 is this one, f cos alpha, equation 2 is f sine alpha. So first of all, square it and then add it. So I have written over there squaring and adding equation 1 and 2. Similarly, f cos alpha was 9.09, so squaring 30.01, squaring equation 2 and adding. After simplifying this, we have 988.6, and after simplifying these bracket, it would be f square cos square alpha plus f square sine square alpha. Taking f square as common, we are left with cos square alpha plus sine square alpha in the bracket, and we know that cos square alpha plus sine square alpha is an identity, so therefore that is equal to 1. So we are just left with f square is equals to 988.6, taking the square root and getting the value of f. Then placing this value of f in any of the equation, whether equation 1 or 2. For example, if we take equation 1, which is f cos alpha is equal to 9.09, place the value of f over here, it would divide, and after dividing this value we have 0.289, taking the inverse, cos inverse, and finally getting the angle. So you can use any of the two method. You don't have to work out with both the method. I have just explained it. You can use any of the method and you can easily solve these questions.